this is Amber from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about 5 great games you can play with your 3-year-old. So I have 3-year-old twins who are almost 4, and these are all games that they've played in the last year and enjoyed a lot. But they also started playing games when they were 2, and I have another video, 5 great games for your 2-year-old, so you can check out those 5 games because they still play and enjoy a lot of those games. I'm just not going to repeat them here. But first up is First Orchard, which is a cooperative game where you're trying to get fruit into a basket before the raven gets to the orchard. So on your turn, you're rolling a die. It's a different colored die, and depending on the color of the die, you pick that color fruit and put it into the basket. If you get a raven on the die, then the raven moves forward 1 step, and if he gets to the end before you collect all the fruit, then you lose. It's good for color matching, taking turns, and following directions on the dice, but also the die has one face that's a basket, and that's a wild. You get to pick whatever color you want. So there's some choices there in trying to pick the color that hasn't been rolled as much. A lot of kids play First Orchard as young as 2, but my kids didn't really get into it until they were 3. They liked playing with the little chunky toys though, so they have really nice wooden components. Next up is Disney's It's a Small World game, which is based on the ride at Disneyland, so that theme appeals to people who have been there. But it's got this really cool 3D board that you're traveling through, and it's got lots of different pictures on it, and you're getting cards each turn that you're trying to match up to the pictures on the board. So these are all like pictures, art that is kind of like the ride. It has like lots of little people doing different things, and it's basically a matching game. My kids have only played the cooperative version, but there's a competitive version too for, I guess, when they get older. But my kids love looking at pictures and matching them. So like matching games are just a lot of fun. And then Small World, because they've been to Disneyland and they love the Small World ride, the theme of It's a Small World is great for them. Next up is Storytime Chess, which is ages 3 to 103, so they can keep playing it when they're older. But Storytime Chess is a game that teaches you chess moves through different stories. So each piece has a different story and a reason why they move the way they do. So my kids started playing this at 3 years old. They've gotten through the king and the pawn pieces so far, and it's actually teaching them how to move. Like you move, you take your hand off, and then you're done. So they're actually like kind of remembering the moves because of the stories. So that's pretty neat. I haven't played through all of it yet, and I plan to continue playing this as they get older. Maybe I'll get better at chess too, because I never really got into it. But the stories are very cute, or at least the ones that I have read so far are. I haven't read on through the book yet because I'm going to read it with them. And there's also like double-sided board, so you can play with the little pieces that look like the little characters, or you can take off that art and change the board, and so it looks like a normal chess set. Next up is The Color Monster, which is based on a book called The Color Monster, but this is a game about your feelings. So The Color Monster is a cooperative word game where you're moving a monster around to different colors, and the different colors have different feelings. There's happiness, anger, fear, sadness, and calm. And when you get to the space, you talk about what makes you that feeling. So you go to the happy space, you say, what makes me happy is playing board games or something. And there's also a memory aspect. There's these jars that have the colors, and you're trying to find the jar with the matching color to put it into the jar. There's also 3 jars with mixed up colors, jumbled colors, and if you flip that over, then it's bad. You have to mix up 2 other jars, and if you have all 3 flipped over, then you lose. But basically, it's about talking about your emotions, and it's very good for that. My kids have used it, and they're getting better at saying what makes them angry or happy or sad. And then also outside of the game, they sometimes like talking about their emotions too, and say like, oh, I'm feeling blue when they're sad, or like, I'm feeling yellow now because they're happy. So that's really neat how it can help them talk about their emotions. And last is a game with no cover. It's called Co-op Train Game. This is actually a print and play game, so it's free to print out yourself, but Co-op Train Game is basically a very descriptive title of what the game is. It's a cooperative train game for kids. You all control different trains, and you're moving around the board trying to pick up and deliver objects to different locations. So it's very simple for adults, but it's good for a 3-year-old, and especially if the 3-year-old loves trains, which one of my kids really loves trains. So when he plays it, he pretends the trains are like Thomas and Thomas's friends, and he makes little train noises as he goes across the track, and then if he moves off the track, he says it's derailed. But it does also have like following the dice rolls, some strategy in trying to pick up pieces and trying to get the optimal route for getting to the location that you're trying to deliver, which my kid isn't very good at yet, but I guess as he gets older, he'll probably get better at that like optimization of routes. So Co-op Train Game is a great one, and it's free if you have a printer. All right, so that was 5 games you could play with your 3-year-old. Remember, you can also play the games that I mentioned in the 2-year-old video, which were, I think, Go Away Monster, Tidy Up, Hungry as a Bear, Acorn Soup, and the My First Adventure series. But there are so many great games for your kids, and I have overview videos for each of these individual games as well, so you can check those out if you want more information. And you can also check out this playlist of overviews of all the games that my kids have played so far, and I'll keep updating that as they get older. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz! Bye!